Nice. So we are live, and I can see it from the rising number of attendees now. And welcome, dear attendees. Welcome to our webinar, special subject webinar on extremely interesting topic, studying engineering and technology in Germany. What can be a better location to study these subjects, right? And my name is Georgi, and I will be today co-host / co-moderator of the webinar. And I'm not alone. Thankfully, we have several guests from German universities who will present their unique study programs to you. But before we get to them, let me quickly tell you one thing, that if you are new to the webinar setting of Zoom, the main communication line between you and us, just from now on already, it's a Q&A button. So you can see the Q&A button just next to the chat. Click on the Q&A button, send in as many questions as you want, ideally relevant questions, and and then we will address them either in the written form or live. So after we have 3 presentations are done in around 50 minutes, so to say, we'll have a live Q&A session where all your questions will be addressed live by one of our guests. And also keep an eye on the chat. They will be sending in some interesting information for you, so keep an eye on the chat, although you cannot use the chat yourself. All right, so I have a short presentation. Please bear with me for a moment, and then we'll move to the most interesting part of our today's afternoon or evening. So yeah, studying engineering and technology in Germany. So it's webinar agenda for today. We start with Hochschule Stralsund, and we have Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵, and he will talk about simulation and system design, master's level program. Then we are moving to Ingolstadt, so Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt, and we have Professor Dr. 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥, and he will talk also about master level program in global engineering and management. So he's joined with Bettina also, you can see in front of your screens. And then we are moving to Hochschule Darmstadt, or Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences, and we have Professor Dr. Peter Fromm, and he will also talk about master level program in electrical engineering and information technology. Very interesting programs. That's why I'll try to keep my part short. Who is behind today's webinar? Just for those who do not know us, we are my German university, and we are Germany's largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. In our database, you can find over 2,600 degree programs, which are at least mostly taught in English, both on bachelor level and also master's level. We have also some short courses and language courses as well listed there. Our main aim is to assist international students who would like to pursue a degree in Germany. And we are doing this through 3 key ways. One of them is our study finder, and you can see now on your screens the study finder, but a small version of it. But when you go to our webpage, then you will be able to see the full version of study finder with all of its filters, which will make your search for the right program much easier. The second way of helping you is that we are writing articles, lots of articles we have right now, over 150 comprehensive articles on various topics when it comes to studying in Germany. APS certificate, blocked account issue, letter of motivation writing, CV writing, technical universities, masters in Germany, and so on and so forth. All of these articles are there for you, of course, for free. Then the third way of helping you is through organizing webinars regularly. We have approximately 150 webinars per year on various topics, of course, related to studying in Germany. It can be, for example, scholarships in Germany, UniAssist, visa issues, also subject webinar like the one that you're attending right now, but on different subjects. So it can be studying engineering and technology in Germany, or it can be, for example, studying philosophy in Germany, studying physics and mathematics in Germany, and so on and so forth. All of the subjects, all of the webinars that are already planned, you can find them in our webinar section of our webpage, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and attend them also, of course, for free. And my suggestion would be for you to open an account on mygermanuniversity.com. By doing that, you will be able to unlock all of the options that our website is able to offer you. And yeah, it's also, of course, for free for you to keep and open and to keep the account. We are based in Hamburg, in Germany, in northern Germany. But we are also in different parts of Germany, in different parts of the world. That's why we are counseling in different languages. For those who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs related to these disciplines, in German mostly. But for those who are more into English taught study programs, then I would suggest you to check out the engineering and technology programs also on mygermanuniversity.com. There you'll find various bachelor and master's level programs, and most of them are in English only, meaning that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into those programs, and in most cases to successfully complete them. yeah, our suggestion for you when you're searching for the right program is to take account not one or two aspects, but as many as you can. For example, yes, fees, rankings, names, cities, and much more based on your individual background and preferences. This is a crucial step because in order to, without taking into account this kind of aspects, then you will not be able to make an informed decision, and then it will be a problem for your future career. That's why we strongly suggest you to don't shy away and use as many criteria as possible. Also, what I wanted to tell you that there are two key types of universities in Germany. One is called Universität in German, or university, and another one in English it's called University of Applied Sciences, and in German it has some various variations in namings. But the key difference for you to know between these two types of universities is in their focus. So in general, when we talk about this, when for example we are talking about Universität type of university, we're all talking more about research and theory, and in case of University of Applied Sciences, we are usually more into application and practice. If you are interested in more differences, even historical ones, drop me an email. Don't shy away. And last but not least, regarding the importance of taking into account lots of aspects. In addition to that, when you are searching for the programs on our study finder, make sure that you are flexible with wordings. Don't be too rigid. By being flexible, by taking into account the aspects that we mentioned before and those aspects that are important for you, then you will be able to drastically increase the chances of informing yourself about all of the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you that fits your interests and background the best, and then you will be able to make the right decision, right choice, which is once again a crucial thing. That was all from my side. Now we are moving to the most interesting part of our today's webinar. We are moving to University of Applied Sciences, Stralsund. So as I said last time we had it, the webinar, we are moving even to the more northern part of Germany. And Professor Jäger now will talk about Masters in Simulation and System Design. With that being said, I'm stopping my screen share, and Professor, the floor is yours.
Yep. So now first I have to share my screen. Let me try this again and see if it works. Is it okay?
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, then a warm welcome to everyone to introduce the University of Stralsund, Applied University of Stralsund, where we are. We are, as you may have known already, we are in Europe, and Germany is in the center of Europe. If you go over to the second view, and we are located right in the northeast. We're very close to Poland, and this you see in the other part. The Hochschule Stralsund, as I said, is a University of Applied Sciences, and we offer programs and modules in science and engineering, but with a strong focus on the application. We are relatively young. We were founded only in 1991, so we just hit our 30 years jubilee. We have approximately 2,000 students at the moment, and we have 3 schools: one school of electrical engineering and computer science, the School of Mechanical Engineering, where I belong to, and the School of Economics. We are quite young and innovative. We have very modern lab equipments. We have an excellent staff-to-student ratio. We have approximately 19 professors and teaching personnel with 2,000 students, so this is quite nice here. We are very close to the Baltic Sea, which gives us a nice location, and of course, perfect conditions for studying, research, and quality of living. And we are partly top ranked. We must not overdo this. Ranking is always a bit critical. We have students from all over the world. We have more than 20% international students from different regions. The big bulk comes from India, but we're also happy to accommodate everybody else. Accommodation on campus is available, which is quite nice. We have one closed campus. So everything is on one campus, and we have even student residences there where you can apply. It's of course very sought after, but if you're unlucky and can't get on there, the accommodation in town is also there. Are more residences available, and rents are quite affordable in Stralsund. Just in a nutshell, why should you come to Stralsund if you consider Germany? Of course, my colleagues from other cities will have something similar to say. We are very small groups, so you have individual support and personal contact to your professors and your trainers. We usually know you. We know you by face. We know you by name if you're lucky, because we're just not so many. Oh, sorry, now I moved up. It's a great location. You see a little picture on the left at the beach. It's not very far from us. It's 5 minutes. Stralsund itself as a city is very safe. It's an old city. It's very nice to live there. Maybe a bit cold when you come from the southern region, but you get used to that. Just you need some warm clothes. And as I mentioned, living costs are quite affordable for German standards. All right, let me go now to the core of this presentation, to the program Simulation System and Design, which is a master program at the School of Mechanical Engineering. And the title, it consists of 2 parts. It is simulation and system design. It is often confused by students. I get very many emails asking, I'm doing design in the fine arts sense. Is this suitable? It's not suitable. It's an engineering degree. And what we do is we focus on the design and the analysis and simulation of technical systems and of systems for logistics and production. Design and simulation of mechanical systems. We do the design with 3D CAD with SolidWorks, structure analysis, finite element analysis with ANSYS, fluid systems with ANSYS fluids. The control systems design, we use MATLAB and Simulink. And for the discrete event simulation of production systems, we use the Technomatics plant simulation. This is all software which we have available and which you will be trained on. Additionally, you get some selected topics from business administrations. The idea is that you have a more round view of what you are doing, not just the technical part, but you can also assess and explain your decisions from a business side, because you will later work in leading positions and you're not just doing programming. This is most unlikely that you end up there after having completed that course. The language of instruction is English. Goals and career prospects. Well, you are particularly suited for research and development departments in bigger companies, but of course you are trained engineers then, so you fit in quite nicely everywhere where a brain is asked for, where it's needed. The program contents are science-based, and they should in principle enable you to start a PhD, but not with us, because we do not have a PhD program as an applied university. Employment. Many of our graduates end in automotive industry, in the shipbuilding industry. Now and again, it's in aviation industry. You see them in medical and emergency response system developers and all these kinds where systems, mechanical systems, technical systems are developed and used. Our students usually write their master theses not with us directly, but with us via a company. So you're guided by us, but you do it directly at a company, which is quite often quite a good start for a career, because then you have the connections and the contacts to the big company as well. We have 2 options. We have a 3-semester option and a 4-semester option. The 4-semester option differs from the 3-semester option in that we include an internship semester, which is quite useful because, again, this is done in companies, in industry, usually like Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche, Bosch, Continental. There are many companies which are seeking for internship students, and you are there straight away for 1 semester. The theory program in both options is exactly the same. And I want to talk about this now. The program structure quickly. As I said, it's a 3-semester program, possibly with a 4th semester for the internship if you do not bring enough credits. The first semester you have 4 theory modules, a bit of mathematics, some applied computer science, where you do also artificial intelligence things. Then you have a simulation in mechanics and processes, and the business module, international accounting. And additionally, 1 elective can be chosen. You can always choose more, but 1 is compulsory as an elective. Second semester, applied computational fluid dynamics, vehicle management systems, and again, a business topic, international economics and trade. And one module which we introduced because we found that not all the students from outside Germany have the same background in writing a thesis or a paper, and we introduced a module scientific work, which is directly addressed to that. The third semester comprises you writing your master thesis and defending the master thesis. Elective modules, for instance, renewable energy technology, automotive lighting, advanced technical mechanics, and so on, but also production, vehicle simulation, test drive simulation in logistics, and so on. All right. Important are the admission requirements, because we have very, very many applicants, and we are in the nice position that we can choose the best, but we have to do it in a way that all the deadlines can be met. And that's why we have several requirements. We need you to have a first degree in mechanical engineering. If you're not a mechanical engineer, but if it's automotive engineering, that's also okay. So related to mechanical engineering. Otherwise, it doesn't work, because we build on the knowledge from your first degree and from your bachelor degree. And we require you to have an average GPA of 1.7 in the German system. Additionally, you need knowledge in 3 more fields. You need to know a higher level programming language. In your first degree, you need to have a module there. And again, here we're quite strict because we had some bad experiences in the beginning. We require a grade of 1.7. Control engineering is a cornerstone in this program. And also there you need to have prior knowledge. And of course, 3D CAD, computer-aided design, again, and the last 2 with a minimum mark of 2.0 in the German system. Usual mathematical foundations are also required, but this is usually not a problem. So this you should also have if you have a degree in engineering. And you must prove that you can speak English. This you do either by doing an English course, and you reach a level of B2 in this European framework. I'm not really familiar with that myself. Or you prove that your first degree was taught in English. So if you have that option, then of course you don't need to prove that you can speak English. Then we assume that you can. 2, 3 small remarks. The conversion of marks into the German system, this is done by the so-called modified Bavarian formula. So search the internet. It's a very simple linear transformation, which transforms your GPA into the German marking system. We do not need, and actually I do not want you to write a motivation letter. Many programs have this, but we don't have the manpower to read 200, 300 motivation letters. So this is simply useless. We do without. I assume that you are motivated if you apply. And I get these requests quite often, if you cannot compensate 1 or 2 of the requirements by professional experience, and the answer is unfortunately no, you can't. So we go strictly by the book, which simplifies our life. It's possibly not the nicest for you, but this is the way we operate. Application deadlines. If you are an applicant from European Union, then you can apply until the 29th of February for the coming semester, 29th February 2024. If you're not from the European Union, we shifted it quite early to the 30th of November this year. And this has its reason, because otherwise you will not, in many cases, you will not be able to complete your visa process. Yeah, we had so many bad exams that the students got admission and they couldn't reach us in time. And then they had to wait for another year, which is quite unfortunate. For the next winter semester, if you're considering applying there, we start roughly mid-April. So you watch our homepage and you see then the exact date. This is not yet known. You can always drop me an email if you have doubts here and questions. Finally, contacts. It's myself as program manager of the simulation system design. I deal mainly with academic questions. So if you ask if this module can be considered or not. Yeah, for the process, which is done via UniAssist with us, the student bureau is the best address to ask Christina Wanke or one of her colleagues under the email Studienberatung. So my screen has just got black. And for all other incoming questions, settling in Germany, visa process and things like that, you could ask our incoming coordinator, which would be Daniela Porwohl, or Caroline Neumann, who is with us also today. Okay, this would end my short presentation. I hope you have some idea what we are doing, and I'm of course open for your questions at a later stage. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Professor. Very nice presentation. And yeah, regarding the GPA, just to note, that I also put a link in the chat, dear attendees. If you would like to approximately see where your GPA lies right now, you could also use the GPA calculator, and the emails that Professor showed are also in the chat. So that being said, let us move now to the southern part of Germany, to the Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt. And we have Professor Dr. 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥, and he will present the program in Master of Science, Global Engineering and Management.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome from the south of Germany. I have prepared a similar slide just to give you an idea where we are located. Most of you will know that Germany is in Europe. We are located in the southern part of Germany, in the city of Ingolstadt. This is a very industrialized region. Many big international companies are located in Ingolstadt or in a short distance from here. There is a lot of automotive business, a lot of aviation business, and other sectors as well. And yeah, I quickly added some pictures down there as my colleague did. The southern part of Germany is also very nice if you want to do some trips to the mountains or to Munich, for example. All right, our university is a so-called technical university or institute of technology. We have about 7,300 students, 6 faculties, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, a business school, computer science. So it's all around engineering and technology. 65 study programs, including PhD programs that you can study here. We are about 155 professors. Here are some impressions from our university. Okay, so now I would like to shift to the program that I'm about to introduce, Global Engineering and Management. And I would like to first do a little exercise here. So according to your experience and knowledge, what do you think? Why do many new products or innovations or projects fail? Please give me a short answer what you think. You can also select multiple areas here. Just scan the barcode above and click on the topic, on the answer that you think is most correctly. So this will take a couple of 2 or 3 minutes until everybody is set. Okay, so until now, everybody says business not properly planned. Are there other reasons why new products fail? Why innovations are not successful or not even hit the market? Right, technology can be a topic. There are market requirements, obviously. You need to understand the market. There is competition. Supply chain issues nowadays are important. Okay. So more points. All right, let's stop it at this point here. You can still select some points here. The picture is quite clear, yeah? So it's not one topic, but it's multiple topics that are important in the industry nowadays, yeah? And this is the motivation for our program, yeah? We have designed a program called Global Engineering and Management, which combines both the engineering, technology world and the management world. Yeah, so you're in this study program, you will dive into those two disciplines. There will also be some so-called interdisciplinary subjects, and there will be a global perspective. Yeah, because most products nowadays are not designed for national markets, but for global markets, especially if we talk about digital services or digital products. So on the engineering side, same as the other program that we just heard, you will learn how to engineer software. You will get an idea about data science and artificial intelligence. You will learn how the so-called digital factory works and which digital tools you can use to develop new products. And you will learn about modern manufacturing technology. On the management side, topics include innovation management. Yeah, innovation is where all starts, and innovative companies are just more successful than non-innovative companies. We will talk about international management. We'll talk about entrepreneurship. Yeah, setting up new companies is an art for itself. And there will be some basic management courses as well, namely management accounting. Interdisciplinary, this is a difficult word, courses include supply chain management, cost engineering. Projects that you may do are typically interdisciplinary, same as your master thesis. All right, so this is how those subjects are aligned on the schedule. So the first semester, called semester 0 here, this will basically be acknowledged based on your work experience. Then in the first semester, second and third semester, there will be 3 subjects each. And in the fourth semester, you wrap up your studies by writing a master's thesis. How do you get admission to this program? You need a bachelor degree, typically a bachelor degree with 210 ECTS. This can be a bachelor in any engineering field, in computer science, in business, or in natural sciences. If you come from a business background, you should have some practical knowledge, either in the information technology or in the field of engineering. Given your bachelor degree has 180 ECTS, we can check whether we can acknowledge 30 ECTS based on your work experience. So that's the most important requirement. Second requirement, we want students to have at least 1 year of work experience in a what I would call relevant field. As the program is in English, you also need a English B2 certificate or a bachelor degree which was taught in English, that would also be accepted. All right, so finishing this degree would qualify you as an expert in many fields, yeah, including the ones that I am stating here: sales and marketing, supply chain management, production planning. So this is just a short list of what you can do. Obviously, the focus is quite broad, which is also giving you access to many jobs in the industry. There is actually no industry focus that we'll have. There is a lot of automotive and aerospace industry around here in Bavaria, but there is also many startups offering digital services, for example, and there is companies in the renewable energy field and others. Yeah, so you can basically select which industry you want to work later on. You could start your own business, yeah, or you start in a smaller or a big company. All right, so summarizing what I just said, Global Engineering and Management Master Program. One particular thing which I should have mentioned maybe at the beginning, this is an online program, yeah? So you can study this program from at home. You can continue to work at home. You just need the IT equipment and internet access to participate. There will be one meeting per semester where we'll typically kick off the semester and the respective courses in this semester. The program is brand new. It was started just in October this year. We'll admit new students twice a year for the summer term and for the winter term. Length of study 4 semesters, assuming that you will get a transfer of credits. The teaching language is English. I talked about the admission requirements. You see the application and deadlines here. This is pretty much standard, yeah. And so this is the last line, but maybe a very important one. This is a program with a tuition fee. The tuition fee is 9,900 euros for the entire study. Yeah, so for 4 semesters of study. The location in Ingolstadt is not very cheap, yeah, so this is quite costly. So coming to Germany and having the expenses for living there and for living there is probably more expensive than 9,900 euros for 4 semesters. Okay, but this is important to know. We are talking about an online program here that you can do from your hometown, and which also allows you to continue to work. Yeah, so our sessions will be scheduled such that you can attend them parallel to your regular work. Okay, the application process is probably similar to many other international programs. You need to go via UniAssist to get a certificate on your bachelor degree. Then you have to upload your documents on our application system, and then you get your admission letter. Yeah. So below you find again the time frame. So for the next semester, the summer semester, application period starts in about 2 weeks and ends in mid of January. Be aware that the Uni Assist process will take a couple of weeks. All right. If you have any questions, just let me know or contact my colleague Bettina, who can help you on the organizational topics and on the application topics very well. All right, that was it from my side. Thank you very much to everybody.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Professor, for very informative and compact presentation. And yes, dear attendees, I will also shortly, very soon, send also in the chat the link to our article regarding the Uni Assist, because this is already the second program that uses Uni Assist. And for those who do not know what to expect from it and how this procedure works, I will also send it in the chat. And you can, whenever you want, you could read about Uni Assist if you don't know enough about it yet. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much once again. And now let us move to our next speaker. So we are moving to Darmstadt, University of Applied Sciences. So it's Professor Dr. Peter Fromm, and we are now moving towards the center, geographical center of Germany, so to say. And we will talk now about master's level program again in electrical engineering and information technology. So I'm stopping my screen share. And Professor, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. And welcome to the third and final presentation. Okay, as we already said, we are now moving to the center of Germany to a international master program, which is already pretty long available. We do exist since 25 years, so we have a very long record of experience. And there are a couple of differences in our program as compared to the other programs which you have seen, which we would like to elaborate a little bit on during the presentation. For example, we avoid to force you to apply through Uni Assist, because this simply doesn't really work well. You can apply directly at our university. Very important, we will share the slides afterwards, and the main contact data here is provided on the first page. You can either contact us anytime by email. And of course, please also do have a look at our website. So things like, for example, the module description, a detailed description of our courses, our labs, our admission requirements, all that can be found online. And by using the email address, you will actually send an email to Sabine François, who is also in the meeting. She's acting as a course coordinator. And to me will be sent, and one of us will answer it usually within 1 day. Okay, so what are we? Well, first of all, we are a University of Applied Science, which is at the moment on the edge of becoming a European university, one of the few in Germany who is moving in that direction. So we have a couple of very strong partnerships inside Europe, Dublin, in Troyes, in Catalina, in Spain, in Cyprus, and some others, which also allows you to attend classes from the other universities if you are interested. We are a large University of Applied Science, so we have around about 17,000 students in 12 faculties. So more or less everything you can study in a University of Applied Science is available in Darmstadt, which is kind of a typical situation. We have a couple of large university towns, technical university towns like Aachen, Munich, Karlsruhe, and Darmstadt. And besides the very large TUs, we usually also have a very large University of Applied Science in these locations. This actually has the big advantage that the universities are pretty well known. So attendees or students who are finishing our program usually have no problem at all finding a great job in the industry. Well, this is a picture of one part of our campus. So we are located in the center of Darmstadt. It's a rural area. Frankfurt is very close by. Mainz and some other cities. And as you can see, it's well, not one of the largest cities in Germany, but a pretty large town, which still has a lot of green parks and mountains around us. So from the quality of living, also definitely an interesting area. And if you actually are interested to dive a little bit deeper into how our campus look like, simply Google HDR and 360°, and then you will actually be guided to this website, which allows you to go for a virtual walk around the campus. How does our university look like? Well, we are old, but we are still innovative and modern. So this is actually a view, just a few impressions, our student cafe, our learning halls where students actually can work during or in between the lectures. Our lecture halls are, like most universities in Germany, equipped with most state-of-the-art equipment and modern opportunities. Besides studying, also living in Germany, of course, is very important. And I've already seen in the chat there have been some questions like, what can we do outside of our regular study programs? Well, we are running a couple of student projects at our university. So, for example, if you want to work a little bit in the practical field, you can join the team of our electric race bicycle, the Gauss project, where students from different faculties are working together and are doing some real engineering work. Or what is also very, very popular among our master students, you can join the faster racing team. They are now moving from a combustion engine to an electric car, which also will have some autonomous driving features. So also that, of course, is something which is of a high interest to engineering students. And of course, also sporting options. I think we have around about 20, 30 different sports which are offered on the campus at the university. As I said, our program is already a very old international program. I think it's probably the oldest international program we have in Germany. We celebrated 25 years of international master this year. And we are really very, very proud that we have a truly international community. So this is a picture of one group of our graduates who graduated 1 or 2 weeks ago. And I'm happy that to say that everybody who's on this picture actually had a job before they finished the program. So the job perspectives are really great. All the lectures are held in English. We still see that and feel that German language skills are very important. Our clear goal is that you are able to enter the German or European labor market afterwards. So we will force you to learn German. There's no way around that. But this is significantly improving your job perspective afterwards. And well, the minimum level you have to achieve will be an A2 level, but most students by now are reaching the level B1 or even B2, which is a pretty good preparation towards the German market. We have a very strong cooperation with industry. So besides studying 2 semesters in our program, you will do an internship of 1 semester in a company in Germany, and then you will do another semester as a master student or in a master thesis inside industry. So half of the program will be inside industry, half of the program will be in the university, which will obviously prepare you very well for your career. Our program is free of tuition fees. I think this is also a very important argument. And as I said before, we have the clear goal to get you into the German labor market. That's why we're running this program. And more than 80% of our graduates are actually entering the German labor market afterwards and do that in a very, very successful way. Well, what are we offering? We are not a specialized master program. I think this is also a very important difference. We offer the very traditional 4 major disciplines of electrical engineering and information technology in our program. So you can select one of the 4 majors: automation, communication, embedded, and power. We are offering, and we are very strong on providing support. So when you actually decide to apply at our university, we'll have a couple of online meetings where we will tell you everything about how to apply, how to prepare the housing, how to prepare the enrollment, what do you need to do to be in time in Germany. We support you on APS and all these other formal annoyances we have seen over the last couple of years to happen. We have a group of student guides, senior students who will support you from a student's perspective. They will also pick you up at the airport once you're flying in. They will bring you to your accommodation. They will bring you to the university on the first days so that you're sure that everything is running very smoothly. Well, during your study, we will have a lot of technical bridging classes before you're starting. So the official semester, as usually for the winter term, is starting mid of October. We are only having an intake for the winter semester, but we expect you to be here on the 1st of September. And then we are using 6 weeks to give you German classes, first block, to give you technical bridging classes, to make a lot of very nice excursions to Heidelberg, to Mainz, to Bonn, to the House of History, so that you also get a little bit of a background of where you actually have landed and what is offered. At our campus, we also, of course, have services to support you finding internship and master theses. We have an international career center. We have a very powerful and big international office. We have a student service center that will help you with all the whereabouts during your stay inside the university. And then the story, of course, continues. You are successfully graduating one day. And we actually believe in a very strong network. So we like to stay in contact with you. And a lot of students actually, after a couple of years, they are returning to our university. They are either supervising master theses by themselves, they are supporting the juniors in entering the labor market, or this year, for the very first time, we actually have one of the graduates who graduated 4 or 5 years ago to return as a lecturer to our university. So we really have a very nice close circle. We also like to call it the Master of Science family. Well, how does the program look like? I'm just giving you a very brief flyover of the program. Please check our website for a more detailed description. So we have 4 majors, major automation. In every major, we will have 2 subjects which are cross-major subjects. So project management and engineering responsibility will be the subject during the winter semester. Similar argument like what you have heard in Ingolstadt and Stralsund. Having a master degree, you are qualifying yourself for a management or technical lead career. So project management skills, legal skills are required. In the second semester, you will be doing a team project. So you really will do a very strong hands-on exercise and implement some nice technology. Then we have a couple of mandatory subjects. So a total of 7 mandatory subjects, 3 electives. So a lot of choice in our program. And basically the similar structure is also available for the other majors. Internship will be in the 3rd semester, and then a master thesis in industry in the 4th semester. So you can actually see this very strong focus on getting you into the industry. Communication, similar setup. Embedded, a very similar setup. And also power, a very similar setup. Besides having really state-of-the-art labs and courses, we also try to give you a good social experience. So during the month of September and March, besides the technical classes, we will have excursions to Heidelberg, to Bonn, to Mainz, and some other cities. You can attend career fairs. We will have intercultural trainings, the German classes. So there is a lot of activities around the technical lectures to really help you to have a smooth landing in Germany and in Darmstadt. Application. So as I said, we are not working with UniAssist. You can apply directly at our program, and your application will be checked by the professors of our faculty. So we are checking and having a look at all your applications, including a motivation letter. We take the time to learn about your motivation. We typically have around about 1,500 applications every year. Out of these 1,500 applications, we are selecting the top 250 admissions. So we are extremely picky on giving you access. We are really choosing the best. Best doesn't mean that we are just looking for marks or something similar, but we really look at your profile. We look at your working experience. This is highly well appreciated. We look at what you have done before, and then we decide who can join the program. Out of the 250 admissions, typically 125 are getting or are coming to Germany, and then we have an additional 25, 30 German students. So the typical strength of our four majors is around about 140, 150 students, which roughly means that we have around about 35 students per major. So still a comparable, well, nice class size, which allows us to really work in a very interactive way. What do we require? Well, we require a bachelor degree in electrical engineering or equivalent. We expect an excellent transcript of records. I'm not putting a mark behind that because marks from international universities cannot really be compared. Like I said, in the last couple of years, I think I've checked around about 20,000 applications. So we have a pretty good feeling what marks in certain universities and subjects do mean. So we are taking that into consideration, but you can roughly, well, calculate or expect that you have to be somewhere in the top 25–20% of your batch to have a good chance to enter our program. English as language of tuition is not sufficient for us. We simply have made the experience that this doesn't really mean that your English skills are good. So we expect a yields or TOEFL certificate. Doesn't matter whether you have academic or general yields, both is acceptable, and we expect at least a score of 6.5. As I said, working experience is appreciated, German skills are appreciated, and then we are really looking at this large group of applications and decide who can come. Application will be done based or in our own portal. I think this is pretty straightforward. The application process itself is for free. You don't have to pay anything. Only once you get accepted, you will have to pay some small administrative fees because we have to run this portal, we have to run the staff, and the costs which are not really covered by the state have to be paid by the students, but this is only a one-time payment. The rest of the program then is for free. The application timeline. Very important. We have seen actually this year for the students who applied for this winter semester that in India they started with APS. We as a university, we don't need APS. I think it's a huge hindrance in the application process. It doesn't really make sense, but the German state looks at it a little bit different. So you need APS for getting the visa, no matter at which university you are applying, unfortunately. So this is something you should do very, very early. We are starting in December with the electronic application. Then we are deciding, so somewhere mid of April, you will at the very latest get the decision. Typically, those students who are applying earlier will get the decision also a little bit earlier because we will start working on the applications in January. And then our portal will automatically provide you the admission letter and everything else you need. Then we are moving into a second phase where you are preparing your visa and your travel. During that phase, we will have a couple of online meetings to actually support in that process. We will have our student guides being available who can also support you. So there will be a lot of support so that you actually can come to Germany 1st of September, start with the intercultural training, the language courses, the pre-semester courses, all the excursions, and then in the middle of October, start with our program. Yeah. So this as a very brief nutshell of our program. This is a picture of the students who started this year, September. So this was just at the beginning of September. As you can see, it's a very nice, very international, very motivated group. And I would be happy to actually have the one or other from you becoming a member of this family in 2024 or one of the years to come. Thank you very much for your attention.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor. another very nice presentation. And with that, I am inviting everyone to our short live Q&A session. Thank you very much, first of all, to everyone involved in answering the questions. You were very active and, of course, made my life much easier and students happier. There are some questions, general questions that I would like to ask in the time that we have left. Let me start with Professor Jäger. That was a question for you, and I think it's also, I will combine it with another general question. So what is the limit of the class size for your programs? Do you have any limit for the class sizes? And is it do you have any local admissions restrictions? In other words, is it a numerus clausus program? Let me start with you, Professor.
Yeah, there is no numerus clausus. This is why we set the level so high with the marks that you have to bring, which is unfortunate. And the class size is not really limited. The class size in the laboratories will be limited, but then we repeat the lab so everyone can join. We have different numbers of students per year. This year we had a little glitch because of this APS, which Professor Fromm already mentioned. Many Indian students couldn't manage to come in time. So this year we have a class of a little bit less than 15. But usually we have classes size 30, 35 of students that do make it and arrive here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Professor Jäger. Professor Fromm, what would you say?
Well, similar situation here at our university. So we actually have like different limitations. We have like an absolute limit of around about 200 students which we could theoretically bring into our program. We have done that in certain years, but we now at the moment try to limit that a little bit to around about 100 students, because the limiting factor is actually the housing situation in large cities, like also in Ingolstadt and some others. We are bound to offerings of our partners, and this will actually influence a little bit the number of students we are giving an admit, because I don't want to have the situation that somebody is coming from a country far away to Germany and then has to sleep under a bridge. That would be very inappropriate. So we're looking a little bit at what it can be offered in terms of housing. This is negotiated every year with the companies, and based on that, we are deciding on the final numbers.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's clear. And Professor Schwandner, what would you say?
Our group size is about 30. It can be higher or lower depending on how many qualified applicants we have. As we are an online program, housing is not an issue, but we want the group size to be small, as we want to keep the personal contact. We want to work in small groups and support our students, get to know our students personally, and so on. So we are not a massive online open course, but we are basically working closely with the students as we would do in the classroom.
Great, that's good to know. Thank you very much, Professor. And let me stay with you. There's a question whether there are any extracurricular opportunities to improve skills in programming languages.
Was that a question for me?
Yes,
okay.
For everyone, but let's start with you.
Okay, so we'll have one course in software engineering, and it does not require prior knowledge. If you have done some programming before, this will certainly help you, but there is no requirement here. So it is included in the curriculum.
Okay, clear. Now the same question for Professor Fromm.
Well, you've seen like two large projects which I've shown you. You can work in, for example, the FASTA or similar. In addition, programming typically is a challenge because we have pretty high expectations on that subject. So yes, students are struggling, but that's why we, for example, have the preparational courses. You will have like 2 courses on programming during that. And during the semester, we will give you a lot of hands-on material. So you will get hardware, you will get programming environments, which you can install on your own computer. And we will give you a lot of exercises where we can work on. And experience shows that students who are doing that, they are successfully finishing that program which is around about 80% of the students.
Okay. Clear. Thank you. And Professor Jäger?
Yeah, I already answered this question in the question and answer section. We don't have extracurricular opportunities. Programming is included in the modules partly, but we require you to come with programming skills. This is why we made this an admission requirement. Yeah. The language is not important, which programming language you choose, because they are all kind of transferable in that level that we use. We are not informatics, we are not computer scientists, we are engineers. So if you use C# or Java, I'm not sure what is all at the moment or vogue, we are happy with anything, but you need to have a good experience to bring with.
Okay, clear. Thanks. Professor Fromm, now I'm back to you. Can students take extra semesters in case they cannot finalize studies on this mentioned regular time?
We are in Hesse, so there is no limit on semesters. Theoretically, so most of our students are not finishing the program in the 4 semesters, which is the regular study time. Let's be honest on that. The average, however, is 5 semesters, which is very good for an international program. If I look at my colleagues from the TU Darmstadt, the average time is not 4 semesters, but 8 semesters. So that's a totally different story. So very many students take an extra semester. We help them on planning that in a decent way, and then they can finish in time. The general, let's say, level where it starts to become difficult is if you're scoring less than 50% of the planned credits per semester, because we as a university, we are not forcing you, but you will actually get problems with the 𝘱𝘀𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘱 and the visa prolongation.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, regarding the 𝘱𝘀𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘱, dear attendees, you will know what this word is whenever, as soon as you step into Germany, you will get in touch with them and you will see. Okay, perfect. Professor Jäger?
Yeah, also our students hardly ever finish in the prescribed time of 3 or 4 semesters, depending on the program choice that you do. So usually it takes 1 semester, often 2 semesters more. We have no direct restrictions here, as long as there is progress visible. And as Professor Fromm already mentioned, yeah, the 𝘱𝘀𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘱 may cause eventually a bigger problem that you cannot complete them because you don't get your visa extended. So this keep that in mind. So don't just start working in Germany and think you can carry on forever. It will not work.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Thank you. And Professor Schwander?
Yeah, again, so we are a little bit different here because there is no visa involved. Our study regulation allow you to have 2 or 3 extra semesters if you want to have a lower workload because you have failed exams. But this is typically not required, as we are like an executive program. Typically, the number of people that fail this is relatively low.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you very much. And as a former international student in Germany, I would like to tell you also, dear attendees, yeah, it's not a problem, and I would say it's more a rule, kind of a rule in Germany, that at least extra 1 semester is taken. I was also surprised when everyone was planning for more semesters as soon as I got here, but you will get accustomed to that as well. Okay, so another question is there any assistance in finding internships to collect some valuable experience? The question is, and Professor Jäger, let's start now with you.
Well, we provide assistance as good as we can, but we do not have contracts with the companies. And so the students search for internets by themselves. They can ask the professors. Many of our professors have professional connections still from their own experience background. We have a list of companies which can be approached. We have an office at the university which helps a bit as far as is possible. Perhaps from our perspective, if you study in Stralsund, which is a very nice city and a nice location, but we don't have much industry, so you have to plan your internship usually in the south, possibly close to Ingolstadt, where the industry sits. Yeah, so we help as good as we can, but it's not a formalized process.
Clear. Thank you very much, Professor. That's very clear. Yeah, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘓, yeah, it's an online program, but is there any contacts in this case to bind students with potential future employees, or how does it work in your case?
Yeah, there is a job portal on our university site where you can look up for jobs, and there is many jobs posted there. We are at the moment working on partnerships with German companies that have subsidiaries internationally to do projects together with them, and those would also be, let's say, the opportunities to get to know companies and to find internships there. But as my colleague said, there is no like formal contracts providing scholarships for our students. It is more a networking thing, but would certainly help with our network.
Okay, still very good. Thank you very much, Professor. And Professor Fromm, what would you say in this case?
Similar story. So here in Darmstadt, the job situation is pretty good, but our students are really literally going anywhere in Germany. I think we have even had some students who did an internship in Stralsund, so it seems to be some industry available. We have one of my colleagues who is responsible for supporting students in the internship process. We do specific trainings on how to apply at a company. We have own job portals here at the university. So although there is no really formalized process, usually finding the internship is pretty straightforward at the moment. The job market in Germany, especially for engineers, is very good. And with a little bit help, this works fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. Great. And this last question, and we are good also in time. Of all that has been discussed, and from all the different institutions presented, could you link some of these programs for a bachelor's degree? Any information would be appreciated. So as far as I understood, maybe, is there any program on bachelor's level that your master's program would be then consecutive to that bachelor's in your university, at your university? So Professor 𝘱𝘱𝘓, let's start with you.
Yes, actually we have a bachelor program called Engineering and Management. It is an on-site program where you have to move to Ingolstadt. It's not a professional executive program, so this does not require any experience before. You can do it based on your high school degree, and that would very well qualify you to do the Global Engineering and Management Master afterwards. And it's it's fully in English as well.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much for the information. Professor Fromm?
Well, we have of course, a German bachelor, but most of our students are actually entering after having done their bachelor at their home country. And then we have this concept of the bridging classes to get you all on the same level and to get you smoothly into our program. So theoretically, of course, you can enter any German bachelor degree, but for that you need German language skills, which have to be proven, DSH at the end of the day. So I'm not sure if that really makes sense. The typical way would be do a good bachelor in your home country and then switch to the master to Germany.
Okay, thank you, Professor. And Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘓?
Yeah, this is very similar to what Professor Fromm just said. We offer, of course, German bachelor degrees in mechanical engineering, motorsport engineering, and also business-related engineering programs, but they are all taught in German. So I do not think that international students, if you are fluent in German, then of course it's not a problem. But the usual way is really you do your bachelor degree at home, in your home country or in another university, and then you come for this specified master program to us.
All right, perfect. Great. So I would say now we are done. And thank you very much, our guests, for your presentations, for answering the questions both in the Q&A section and also live. That is very valuable. Also, thanks for attendees for tuning in, for your interest and for your questions. Of course, that is also very, very valuable. And if you have any more questions on which you would like to elaborate more, you can get in touch with our guests. They provided to you the information, emails. Also, you will most probably get the presentations also on Monday on the registered emails that you with which you registered, and there you can also find some contact details, and you can get in touch with them, and they will definitely answer your questions and clarify your doubts. If you have any general questions, I saw several questions, for example, regarding scholarship or any APS questions, visa questions, UNESIS questions, anything, get in touch with us and attend our webinars, because we definitely actually have webinars on each and every of that topic also, and where we discuss, make a deep dive into that. And I also put it in the chat some links where you could also leave us a feedback for today's webinar. We always take the feedback into account and try to improve every time. With that being said, thank you very much once again, everyone, for your time and for your interest, and I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.